This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
Welcome back to the Action Sports Jax 24/7 studio, and welcome back to Fleet and Footy. I will be solo today in the studio. As you can see, I have no Stuart Webber across the nice brown table from me. He is instead joining me live from the beautiful greens of Augusta, Georgia. Stuart, how are you?
How about in an indescript, gray-walled room? It's not, you don't quite get the spectacular views of Augusta, but yeah, happy to take a little time out here from our Masters coverage to bring you a low pixelated version of myself and talk some soccer.
I think the people got to know, have you indulged in a sandwich yet? A famous Master sandwich.
Yeah, I've had an egg salad sandwich. I've had a Masters Club sandwich. I'm not a big pimento guy. I like pimento as a dip, maybe.
Okay,
with some
okay.
chips, but I can't do it as a whole sandwich. That's too much. I got a chocolate chip cookie here for when I get peckish here, maybe a little bit later in the show. They do treat us quite well here. Suffice to say.
Well, that's good to hear. I got, the Celsius on deck as always. But
They don't have that. They don't have that for us for some reason. I don't know.
I'm super pumped, not only because of the Celsius, but because we're about to head out to Bradenton, Florida to play in a massive tournament, the GA Cup. It feels like we've been mentioning it every single week, Stuart. But first, let's touch on what happened with the Academy this weekend. Unfortunately, only one win across the weekend. We had a doubleheader against Seminole, Orlando, and Weston, who, like we say, Weston's like our mini rival within the Florida League. The 19s played a really tough game, 2-1. They end up losing. But it was a great test weekend to, really show the level against some of these better academies. Jason, can you throw up just some of the pictures from the weekend? We go ahead and we start our first game this Saturday against the Chicago Fire. We open up in Group J, and I mean the teams within this tournament are quite insane. Like we've mentioned before, this Group J that we're in though is Chicago Fire, Colorado Rapids, and DC United, including your Jacksonville Armada.
Yeah, how much was this past weekend really kind of a chance to fine tune for the Generation Adidas Cup? I mean, I think I saw some of the starting lineups. We had some different guys getting a chance to play. You obviously don't want to head into what is going to be a very busy stretch of soccer with tired legs coming off a doubleheader weekend. That's even for the kids, that's a challenge to not only play, two highly competitive weekend matches, but then get ready for the gauntlet to come here down in Bradenton.
Yeah, I think the schedule did get a little bit changed up, so it just happened to be that we had this doubleheader. But I do believe that it was a great preparation games for this. You're going away, you're staying in a hotel with the boys. It's kind of that same vibe that we got out in California on a smaller scale, obviously, but traveled across the whole entirety of Florida. But it was good. Like you said, there was plenty of rotation. I know Elmar wanted to see the boys in different positions. We got to see Ethan Berger, I think, played a center back in one of these games, who's usually a center midfielder. So tinkering, tweaking, trying to find different things for this Generation Adidas Cup. It's these top talents from all across the world. So I know we're really excited about it. Hambone, can you throw up that European group? I think I called it 3. That was the final group that we were waiting for, where who were these European teams going to be? And we got Bayern confirmed, Inter Milan, Leicester City, Genk out of Belgium, Toulouse out of France, Stuttgart out of Germany, and then I had to say the best for last, PSV Eindhoven, your boys.
Yeah, a little Eindhoven love in there for the Dutch. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we've really been kind of harping on about this tournament is just how big of a reach it has. And you're going to have scouts and coaches from literally all over the globe, all meeting up down in Bradenton to come and talk about. It's our buddy who won the grill last week.
Yeah.
weird soccer story of the week. Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see these young players get this opportunity. Great Group J for Jacksonville, baby.
I feel like it's
You know,
destiny. I feel like it's
it's
destiny.
destiny. It's got to be, and a chance to get a win over Chicago, which is fun because it was a Chicago team that beat the boys in blue out west in that fest to try and get a spot into the GA Cup. So maybe we can exact some revenge against the Fire,
Yeah,
even though it's a different organization entirely.
You talk about the spotlight that these guys are going to be under. This entire tournament, or I'd say most of the tournament, will be streamed on Apple TV under MLS Season Pass. So if you do have the opportunity to hop on and watch a couple of games, please do. I think they already have some marquee matchups they've got circled. I know one of mine, just because I will be curious about, is Inter Milan. That U18 Inter Milan team plays the U18 Orlando City team, who has yet to lose a single game this season in MLS Next Play. So that's one of my games that I'm definitely going to circle. I truly am excited personally for our game against Chicago Fire. They have a fantastic youth setup over there. They've been producing players constantly, one of the better and more established academies in MLS. So I really am excited to see the level that we're at in our first year in this iteration of Jacksonville Armada MLS Next Academy.
You're willing to say that group is fire?
It's pretty fire, Stuart. I think it's pretty fire.
It's fire.
You know what else is pretty fire, though? You know what else is pretty fire?
What's that? What do you got?
The NPSL season. I feel like this is what the people have been wanting, Stuart. I got to drop it on them.
Let's talk about it.
We finally got the schedule.
Yeah, and it's finally finalized, I think, is the most exciting part, because look, there were some moving parts here towards the lead up to this, right? As we were getting ready to release the schedule, there was a new team jumping into the conference that was maybe not as expected, and great for us because it's a short drive. we haven't had too many of those here over the years when it comes to the NPSL schedule. So excited about that getting dropped in there. And before we take a look at the schedule, I do want to remind the folks at home that every home matchup for the men's and women's, so NPSL and WPSL U23 teams this summer, you'll be able to see right here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. So really excited to once again be able to bring you live sports here on the network with the boys and girls in blue this upcoming summer. So let's go ahead and let's check out the schedule, shall we? And we'll get excited about the home schedule a little bit more than the away schedule, because it's here. It's a little easier to get to for the folks at home. We know the Section 904 diehards are going to make their way to those great away days, so we'll show you those in just a second. But we'll start with the 5 home matchups for your Jacksonville Armada men's team. And as a reminder, all home games this season at the Nathaniel Glover Community Field and Stadium on the campus of Edward Waters University, where we hosted the playoff games a year ago. And look, May 9th is less than a month away, man. That just creeps up on you like so quick, Lou.
It's surprisingly quick. By the time we come back from Bradenton, I think we've got 2 weeks until that first game of the season in general. So I know we're really excited, and especially to play against these new teams, like you've been saying. It's always fun to get a little shake-up of the conference. It feels like it happens every once in a while. And a club like Club de Leon is someone that I'm really excited to play, just because they've had that professional stature before. It's a well-run club, so I think there will be, maybe a new cream of the crop within the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference.
See, I'm not as well versed on Orlando as maybe you are. What part of Orlando is Leon? I'm just curious about that part about it.
I think it's Lake Mary. I'm not mistaken. Okay. It's around that area.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Yeah. So home opener May the 9th, also the regular season opener. So get to open at home. I noticed a lot more home games on the front end of the schedule as opposed to the back end. I think we end on a 3-game road trip. We'll show that in a second. But PSC FC is a new team. They actually have a couple different, home bases, I guess you could say. But included in that is Florida, as you look at the away schedule. And we'll have to go to PSC FC Florida, as well as Club de Leon. Global Soccer Pathways in Naples. You can make that into a long weekend. Both of those teams down. Global Soccer Pathways, that's in Naples as well, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the same venue, Naples Community School. So it's a nice venue. I do enjoy playing there.
As long as the lights are on, right?
As long as, you know what? Yes, as long as the lights stay on for the full 90.
The thought.
But I got to circle my favorite away day, that June 14th away day in New Orleans. Always my favorite. One of my favorite cities in the United States personally. I love the food, the people, the culture of New Orleans. So I'm always excited to eat a little muffaletta and a beignet and watch some good soccer.
All right, yeah, man. I love a good beignet. We've been out there for a few times. We've been to Cafe Du Monde. Great place to go check out there in New Orleans. And my pro tip for anyone who's never been to New Orleans, the best thing to do is just to completely avoid Bourbon Street, and you'll have a great time.
I would 100% agree, Stuart. I would 100% agree with that statement.
I guess if you've never been there, you can like walk through it.
Walk through it.
Do it at a brisk pace, and maybe hold your nose. But French Quarter is amazing. The food is amazing. The music is amazing. New Orleans is such a fun city. Once you get past the rowdy crowd there on Bourbon.
Yeah, the people who usually aren't from New Orleans, you know what I mean? The people that come into town.
Correct. But you can go and enjoy the culture. Hey, well, here we go. We got folks jumping in on the schedule. Derek, I got to practice the dad jokes. Absolutely, that's right around the corner here. Naples away. Yeah. So we'll see how that road trip is for Section 904 to get the head down to Naples. Naples obviously was our big rival a year ago, and probably our best competition in that conference a year ago as well. So curious to see what Naples has put together for this year's NPSL campaign.
Well, they once again qualified for the Open Cup, so they always have a strong squad. And now there's another team within the region, so I know they're going to want to just show out in general and make sure that they continue to get the good fan base that they have going there.
And if I'm correct, Club de Leon is going to have some professionals on that roster, right? They have a pretty stacked roster as they were kind of preparing for the NISA schedule.
Yeah, I would say.
Jason, can you throw back up the home schedule for us as well, please? You take a look at all those road trips that we got this year, but really the home schedule is the one we want folks at home to have a chance to circle, because we want you to come out and support the team here in Jacksonville for sure. There you go.
Yeah, I like that you touched on the fact that they are coming from professional, because it kind of has that similar vibe from when we dropped from NASL to NPSL. Oh, yeah. That squad, from the Armada's point of view, was absolutely stacked. I mean, we had guys like Yuma Castellanos, who's a Colombian international, guys like Gebhard, who was still on that squad. Man, I'm totally blanking on a couple. I think Jamal actually was still on that team before we turned a new leaf. But it's going to be awesome for these guys to be able to play professionals. I mean, we talk about these MLS Next guys who may appear on the squad, or these first-year freshman college guys within the Jacksonville, North Florida area who could have an opportunity to play against some really top-tier talent within Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. And there it is, the home schedule. So 5 home matches. We're hoping maybe add another 1, 2, 3.
I'd like to think that's why Tommy stacked the away games at the end, because he knows we're going to play some home games in the playoffs.
Yeah, that is certainly the hope. The hope for sure that we qualify for the playoffs and get some home games, because that's a lot of fun and a great atmosphere for sure at Edward Waters University. And as mentioned, all these matchups will be seen on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. So we're excited to once again bring you these matchups and give you a chance to watch it. If you can't make it, obviously we want you to be at the stadium. We want you to be on site, because that's the best way to experience it. But the second best way is to listen to me talk about it. I think that's
I would agree.
Pretty spot on, right?
Yeah.
And a benefit with Edward Waters is that we get to actually see the game as we're calling it. That's exciting to me.
All in the same field, same place. It's nice. It is nice.
Yes, it is a nice view from the broadcast booth there for Edward Waters. Certainly to look forward to. So there you go. There's your NPSL schedule. Obviously, stay tuned to Fleet and Footy here over the coming weeks. I'll be taking a little leave of absence here in a couple of weeks, but Big Lou's going to be holding it down while I'm gone. We'll have player announcements. We'll continue to hear from the coaching staff, and this roster is going to be put together before you know it, and away we go.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see the roster be revealed because I have my hands in a little bit of everything, so I get to see the behind the scenes. And so I'm definitely.
You can't share any of that with me, man. I'm dying to know some of this.
I feel like
stuff,
I've dropped some hints on here already, at least about some of maybe some of our MLS Next boys possibly being on here. But I don't want to get yelled at by boss man Tommy. That's not a fun. That's not gonna be a fun convo.
You're over there withholding all the good information, but that's okay. I'll allow it.
Look at those legends in the chat though. Mishak, Mikey Melvin. That's Josh Castellanos. That's what I was thinking of.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff. So there is your NPSL schedule. We got so much to come here on Fleet and Footy. We got a great show lined up for you, and we have a terrific interview right around the bend. But first, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, Keegan Ancelin, who's now plying his pro trade in the MLS Next ranks. And we'll certainly hear from him about MLS Next Pro and what that experience has been like with Chattanooga so far to start this season. Of course, he's up there with Ethan Dudley. We'll hear all about that. And we got much more for you. We'll talk, obviously, all the cups going on around the world and domestically as well. I know Lou is locked in on that. Your MLS Power Rankings. There's a look at Keegan from his time with the boys in blue. We'll hear from Mr. Ancelin coming up next right here on Fleet and Footy. People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
The rhythm of my heart is beating like a drum, with we Armada rolling off our tongues. Never will we roam, for we know our place is home. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing. Where the ocean meets the skies, we be sailing.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jax 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jags, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget, the Brett and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jax Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjax.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jax 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
2024 provided plenty of memorable moments for the Jacksonville Armada on the pitch, including another conference championship game appearance for Tommy Krasanovich's under-23 men's team.
It's in the dying moments!
Debuting this year for the first time, the girls in blue as the Armada fielded a women's under-23 side in the WPSL and made its presence known with some highlight moments.
Potential goal of the season!
Then attention turned to the future, with MLS Next teams representing the Armada badge in 3 age divisions this fall, including an under-19 squad ranking among the best in the state. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
Keegan Ancelin, the man with the master plan, born and raised in Jacksonville, came through the JFC and Armada Academy, eventually appears for the Armada U23 team, signs a professional contract with Chattanooga FC, scores 3 goals in his first 4 professional matches. Keegan Ancelin, how are you?
How's it going, guys? Good to be on the show. Thanks for the invite.
Keegan, we're definitely excited to have you on, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, like
So-
Because Ethan, I know Ethan was on the show not too long ago as well, and I remember he was talking about his time on the show, and he said that you guys might want me on the show eventually. So it's super excited to be here.
Good to see word spreads in the right kind of way. So Keegan, before we kind of get into your history and growing up in Northeast Florida and playing soccer there, let's kind of start with where you're at right now with Chattanooga FC and really what that experience has been like for you to be on one of the 2 independent teams in MLS Next Pro. You know, we think of MLS Next Pro with kind of having 2 distinct types of teams, right? You have the teams that are full of all the developmental guys for the MLS clubs. But then you got Chattanooga, you guys in Carolina, who you guys just played, these 2 independent teams in the league that are trying to go out there and win, and they're not developing players for another roster. So what has that experience been like for you up there in Chattanooga this year?
It's really great. So I know with a lot of the bigger MLS teams, the non-independent teams, there's guys fluctuating up and down, first team, second team. So the rosters kind of they'll differ from week to week. But with us as an independent team, it's just like the guys are the guys, and we're just gonna have to build around those guys for the whole season, and we're gonna have to figure out instead of having different players here and there. So I think it's really awesome. I think it's a lot easier to work with as a team, as a cohesive unit. And I think it's just great overall. And I think that's something that, if Jacksonville Armada are going to have an MLS Next Pro team next year, which would be awesome, I think that's something that'll kind of follow through with them as well, especially since you guys are an independent club as well.
Speaking of that, Keegan, the guys are the guys. You're getting to play with professionals who have been in the game for a long period of time. Obviously, playing for that summer squad, a lot of these guys are the same age as you in the Armada camp. What is it like learning from these pros when you're not restricted to an MLS Next Pro Academy or a U23 side? What is it like learning from like a Jakopovic or a Nagelstad? There's tons of legends you guys got over there in Chattanooga.
Yeah, it's definitely great. It's a big change of pace. These guys are really technical. They're really sharp in everything they do, and I think that's just kind of made me better. I realized that I need to be really sharp and really good in every single little action. And I think that's made me a better player. I think I'm learning a lot. I still have a lot to learn, and I think that's gonna help push my career even further. And it's just really exciting to be in this environment.
Keegan, we're getting a chance to see some pictures and some video of your time with the Jacksonville Armada U23 squad that you've had a chance to play with here for the last few years under Coach Tommy Krzanovich. Let's go a little further back to the high school days. You're playing at Fletcher. You're one of the beach rats and really cutting your teeth out there while the Armada is starting its kind of pro career way back when in the NASL days. What was it like for you around those years to see that happening, but also for you to kind of be developing as a player yourself?
It was amazing. I remember, back when I was younger, playing in the academy, I would go to the Armada games. Back when Tommy was my coach and also a player, I have a vivid memory of him scoring a goal in one of the games that I went to, and it was just an awesome feeling just to see that happen. And I think that's something that I would love to see back in Jacksonville. I think that's something that the city would love, and I think that's that's something that'll just be great. But I think growing up coming through the academy. It was amazing. It was awesome to have that, Armada Pro team, and it was really inspiring, definitely for us young kids. But yeah, it was amazing, and I just hope we can get that back in the city as soon as possible for sure.
You talk about how much passion that the city had for the team when we were pro. I gotta shout out the game that you guys just recently played in the U.S. Open Cup. I know it wasn't the result you guys wanted, but man, I was glued to my screen. That was one of the best U.S. Open Cup games I've ever watched, and boy, was that crowd rowdy. Can you just tell me about the experience of that game specifically?
Yeah, it was crazy. I've never played in front of that many people. It's just, and I was lucky enough to start that game, and just walking out with the starting lineup and just hearing the crowd is just crazy. There were so many people. I couldn't see an empty seat anywhere. It was, I was getting goosebumps. It was just a crazy feeling. It was really unfortunate the result. I think we deserved better, but at the end of the day, penalties, you never know which way it can go. Fair play to them. They played a good game, but it was an awesome crowd. I'm glad we got a crowd out like that. I'm hoping we can do that more often, but just because it was an inner city rivalry, I think that's what really made it happen. And yeah, it was such a surreal experience. Being a professional now, that's just something that you want to happen more often. You want the environment, the fans to be like that and to be excited. And it was amazing.
Yeah, it's one thing when we get to kind of see those crowds in the MLS, be it, Seattle for so many years, Atlanta, the way they kind of started with some packed houses there. But to see it for lower level soccer, to see it for such a historic competition like the U.S. Open Cup. I mean, the Armada know it from just a couple of years ago when we had that tremendous crowd come out to see them win in penalties as well over Miami. I mean, what a time that was for sure in Jacksonville. But to be able to experience that in a city where like Chattanooga, where really it's kind of just been built from the ground up, much like it has in Jacksonville, has to be amazing for the players to know, hey, maybe we're not at the level we want to be at right now because we're in our development, but we've got all this support and we've got all these people in our corner that really want us to continue to improve and go win some matches. It's you take a look at some of the video here from that one, Keegan. It's got to be so cool to have that in your corner.
Yeah, it's definitely really amazing. I kind of think of it almost like, this team kind of reminds me of the Armada in a way, just because the fans are they're so rooted. These fans have been supporting us for years here in Chattanooga, just like the Section 904 has. It kind of is almost it's very similar. That's just kind of how I see it, how I look at it, and I think it's really amazing. And I think we're having a good season so far in the MLS Next Pro. I think we're first or second. I think we're having a great season. I think we just have to keep it up. I think we're playing well, and I think we just have to keep improving. And I think we play Carolina Core this weekend, so the other independent team. So that'll be a battle for sure. We're definitely excited for that game.
Speaking of that familiarity, almost comparing it to the Armada, we just interviewed Ethan Dudley. We asked him the same question, but what is it like playing with a guy who you've played with now for the past 3 or 4 summers?
Oh, it's awesome. I always looked up to Dudley. He was definitely an older kind of senior figure for me because he's a few years older than me, and he was in the pro world a few years before I was. So it was always I always looked up to him, and he's a really good player, really good guy. So being on the same team as him now is incredible. I've learned a lot from him, and I live with him as well too. So it's good. We get to go do stuff together. We get close. So it's been a great experience with him. And yeah, I hope I can keep learning and keep improving. And yeah, it's really been great though.
Take me back to that pro debut. 121 seconds in. It's not quite the Jamal Johnson 12 seconds in like he had in the NASL opener for the Armada. But what's crazy is earlier that night, another team had set the record for the fastest ever scored MLS Next Pro goal. And then like 30 minutes later, you come and beat their record. So they got to hold the record for like 30 minutes, which is just wild. But what a way to get it started, huh?
Yeah, actually, I think after the game, someone told me about the team that scored 30 minutes earlier, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool. I mean, like, it's cool to score my first goal like that quick. It was just awesome. I mean, it was a great experience. The stadium's awesome. It's the Inter Miami Stadium that we're playing in, so it felt awesome playing in that stadium. I was just kind of like, whoa, like, where am I? I haven't really been here before. But it was awesome. It was a great game. I'm glad we started really hot. And I was super excited to score that goal. And, I never thought something like this would ever happen, but, it did. And it's amazing. And keep moving forward. So, yeah.
You obviously have that shining moment with Chattanooga, that first goal. Is there a specific Armada moment that really sticks out to you? It doesn't necessarily have to be a goal, but maybe a locker room moment or maybe an off-the-field moment with a player.
That's a great question. I mean, I have a lot. I mean, a lot of the guys that I grew up with, would play with me on the team, like Ethan, guys like Miles Shanley, I always loved connecting with them. A specific moment. That game against the Dutch Lions was awesome. Scoring those goals, definitely. That was a lot of fun. I was dealing with some injuries and stuff, so I wasn't able to, really get out there and score as much as I wanted to and play as much as I wanted to. But when I started to get out there and score in front of the crowd and stuff, it was a really great feeling. So I would say that. I mean, I have hundreds of memories that, I could say, but I think that's probably the best right now for sure.
Yeah, I think that's really one of the cool things about these last couple of years here in Jacksonville with the Armada, with the men's under 23 team. I know everybody's clamoring for the return of pro soccer, but we've been able to enjoy it just as much with you guys in that NPSL level, really putting on for the city and putting on for the boys in blue. Keegan Ancelin, I want to say thank you so much for calling in and chatting with us. Lou, you got anything else?
No, I like to watch Chattanooga as my second MLS Next Pro team that's not the Armada. So I always like to see the boys in blue up there perform well. So I hope you continue your scoring ways, and maybe you'll break your own record pretty soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Simply the goal, Team first, but of course I would love to, break some records. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Keegan. If you want to catch Keegan, watch him on MLS Season Pass. He's there probably every other weekend. It's a good show. It's always a good show in Chattanooga.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thank you, Keegan Ancelin. Appreciate him jumping in here and chatting with us and talking a little bit about the Armada days. We love talking Armada days with some of the guys who've moved on. And look, we've said it all along. We want to bring these professional players back to town when we have our own professional roster. So certainly names to keep an eye out for here down the line. Good work, Lou.
It just shows you the hotbed of talent here in Jacksonville that other cities are having to pick them off from us. But it also shows you how much talent we develop here at the Fleet. So always good to see the boys doing well professionally.
Yes, definitely. All right, good stuff. Good to catch up with Keegan Ancelin. We're going to take another quick timeout here on Fleet and Footy. We got much more to come. We got the MLS Power Rankings. Big Lou has been working hard on those. Do we have 5 or 10 this week, Lou? What do we got?
10. DS.
We're back to 10. Okay, good. We had time to get the full 10 in. That's what I like to hear. Good stuff. From Jacksonville to Augusta, we got you covered on all things soccer from, well, all over. It's kind of what we do here on Fleet and Footy. Much more to come on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. We'll be right back.
Ancla Dorada. The official bear of your Jacksonville Armada.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7. People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
This is Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, sponsored by Alive Credit Union.
The champions.
It's very good, Lou.
Thank you. I was waiting for a compliment. It's the Champions League. It's been honestly wild. We've gotten some crazy results that I don't think many people expected. You open up the weekend with Bayern Inter. Inter end up winning the game 2-1. Lautaro Martinez scores the winner. I think the surprise of the weekend's got to be 3-0 Arsenal Real Madrid. Declan Arrosinho Rice scores 2 hat-tricks almost identically to each other to put the Gunners ahead 2-0. They ended up finishing off the game 3-0. An absolute dismantling of El Castilla. It was honestly an impressive win. If you would have told me to put money in that game, I would have put all my money on Real Madrid, and I would have been wrong. I just would have been wrong. So that
Well, you're not much of a gambler, right? You don't put a lot down.
I don't. And now that I work for MLS, I cannot gamble on soccer. That is I think that's a rule.
Oh, you technically work for MLS? Is that?
I don't want to touch around with that, so I don't touch soccer anymore.
Hey, I don't blame you. No,
I don't touch soccer anymore, but Super Bowl every once in a while. But yeah, then you come to yesterday's matchups. PSG Villa, who I was saying Villa was my dark horse, and they have been performing very, very well. Emi Martinez shows up in Paris, all decked out in his Argentina gear, ends up getting 3 put past him by PSG. They really handled that game. Didn't really look like they were going to falter too much during the match. And the game
These
that
are
I
all
was
first leggers, right? This is all
first leggers. Yep. Away goals no longer count in Champions League. In Champions Cup, a little bit later they do. So we'll touch on that. Final game of the first leggers, Barcelona absolutely dismantled Dortmund 4-0. Robert Lewandowski gets a brace. The star boy Lamine Yamal scores a wide open goal. But it's just impressive to see what that team has been able to do in Champions League when they really haven't been successful over the past 5 years, I would say, since Leo left.
Any of these teams have a chance to come back in the second leg? I mean, obviously Bayern only down 1 to Inter. I don't know. Is Villa coming back from 2 down against PSG?
You know, that would probably be my game to circle, is that Inter Bayern game. Harry Kane had a couple massive misses that, you know, he would usually put away 9 times out of 10. They got to go to the San Siro, so that it will be, you know, a little bit more tough than playing in Germany. Villa will be playing their game at home against PSG. I just don't see that happening. I know the crowd will be really rowdy and up for it, but it's got to be Arsenal, Real Madrid, just because you never know what that Galacticos team is up to. They could score 5 goals and, you know, only allow Arsenal to score 1. They go through. So I know Arsenal fans, although they're flying high right now, as soon as that whistle for that second leg starts, I know they're going to be nervous.
All right. Well, there is your champions, as Lou alluded to. We don't get sued if we try to do the jingle, do we?
I don't think so. I think you got like 15 seconds you were like allowed to do.
Played it. Like if we played the real one, then we'd be in trouble. But if it's just us sounding like idiots doing it,
I was gonna say I won't get that close. I won't be able to copyright us.
No one's gonna mistake what you do for the actual jingle that is happening. All right, so from the Champions League to the Cup we're looking at here in our own backyard in North America, and that's a second leg. So we've got teams moving on, and we got a big comeback from the GOAT. I know you're pumped. I'm sure you were dancing in the streets as your boy Lionel Messi led a comeback against LAFC.
Before we get to that, let's touch on some of the other ones, because I really do want to give kudos to some of the other teams here. Cruz Azul Club America, honestly, a battle of the Mexican ages. Some of the top teams in Liga MX battle it out. Cruz Azul has just looked so solid. They end up winning the tie 2-1. Then you get to Inter Miami. Inter Miami went 3-1 against LAFC. We're down 1-0 on aggregate. Had to score 3 if LA was going to score 1 away. They do it. Leo Messi scores a brace, ends the game with the PK to put it away. I mean, that LAFC team had their chances. Denny Buanga was tearing up Chelo Weingant at the right back position. I mean, it was honestly...
Oh, there he is. There he is in the pink.
It was a masterclass performance from the front three of LAFC. They just couldn't put the ball away. I'm really enjoying how their Turkish winger, Cenk Tosun, is playing. So it's really interesting out there in LA.
Did you go to this game, by the way?
I did not. I was at the Inter Miami Toronto game, regular season. But we'll touch on that a little bit later. I think
Vancouver's?
Yeah, you got Tigres and LA Galaxy. Tigres knock out LA Galaxy 3-2. Galaxy put on a little bit of a comeback, try to come back at the end there. But really, the game of the tournament was this Vancouver Pumas game, where Vancouver scores 2 away goals in Mexico. At the death, score one at the 90+3 minute. The first goal in that matchup that Vancouver scores by Sebastian Berhalter, Greg Berhalter's son, is an absolute screamer. If you do have a chance to go look at that, it's awesome.
I got a cousin named Sebastian. I don't think he's as good at soccer, though.
Well, Pumas figured out that Sebastian Berhalter was pretty good. He's been a spark of light for them in Vancouver, and an attack that I really didn't think was going to work out at the beginning of the season. They really are flying high, and this kind of seems like their tournament to win. Now, with these matches final, we hit the semi-finals, so we're a step ahead of European Champions League within the rounds. But now you get 2 MLS teams matching up. Now you got Inter Miami playing Vancouver. First match April 24th, second match April 30th. Then I
got 22nd and 29th.
Oh, and then maybe I'm thinking of the other matchups. The 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 Cruz Azul Tigres matchup will be the other side of the bracket. And so we will have an MLS team in the final. It's always a big deal to have an MLS team in the final. We've only ever I'm claiming MLS as a league. MLS, I think, has only ever had two champions.
You're claiming the domestic league. I get it.
I always like to cheer for the domestic league.
What's on the line here? Does the winner get like a spot in like a Club World Cup or something?
So this summer we have that Ultimate Club World Cup, but yes, there will be
Ultimate cash grab. Yep, that's coming up.
Like the smaller version of the Club World Cup, like we had before, where the champion of South America, champion of Europe, champion of Asia, a little bit more subdued, laid back.
Okay.
Okay. But it's a big deal. This is a Champions League, I mean,
dude, there is a trophy on the line. We're excited about it, Lou. Anytime there's a trophy up for grabs, I mean, I feel like everybody gets a trophy these days, especially in international soccer. But you know what? It's time. Let's go get a trophy for MLS. They need it.
I know Don Garber would be very happy to get one in right before the World Cup comes.
He's taking it, by the way. If they win, he's not going to let the team have it. He's taking it home with him. He's taking it on his private jet back to his house.
Well, speaking of that, there's been some rumors and some leaks about MLS possibly moving to that spring-fall schedule that we've been talking about, the normal European-style schedule.
Fall spring?
Yeah, once this World Cup comes into play, they're saying that they're going to have meetings mid-season this year about it. So we really might figure out some stuff sooner than we thought.
30 years too late, but sure, that's fine. It's about time. I mean, yes, there's no reason for us not to be on the correct calendar with the rest of the world, with all the international breaks and kind of the way everything is built together.
We're gonna have to play through some snow if we play in the winter months. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Put a roof on it. I don't know. What do you want from me? Just saying. Get the bright orange ball. It's great contrast. I love.
There you go. The orange ball is always good.
Yeah.
You know what else is always good?
What's that? Is it your MLS?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be the takeaways. It's gotta be the takeaways.
Takeaways of the week. Love it.
So,
there we go. We got week 7 takeaways, man.
It's correct.
But you guys are just enjoy it. Just imagine it here. We're here. Don't worry about it.
This is one of my favorites. Cucho-less crew still crush. Cucho Hernandez killing it in Spain for Real Betis. But the Columbus Crew are still finding ways to win without him. Currently sitting at top 3 within the MLS, continuing to win. I trust in Wilfred Nancy, their head coach, so much. He really does need a bigger club to go coach because his tactics and his style, I think, really do suit Europe so well. Chucky and co are cooking in SoCal. Chucky Lozano is back. He's healthy, and he was an absolute menace. Gets a goal and an assist in their 3-1 win at home. I think they were in front of over 28,000 fans at Snapdragon Stadium. So
my favorite stadium name in the MLS. Yep.
So it's still really exciting over there in SoCal. That team's on fire. Joseph Martinez, MLS legend. The reason why I got this up here is San Jose put 6 past DC United to win 6-1. Josef Martinez puts himself 6 on the MLS all-time scoring list now with, I think, at 117 goals after his hat trick. So continuing to
He's been everything they expected, right, when they brought him back to Atlanta?
Yeah. I mean,
playing well.
Yeah, since San Jose assigned him, I mean, he really has been crushing it with Chicho Rango up top. It's funny because you got an old school MLS coach and now kind of an old school MLS player. Now Joseph Martinez, I like to consider him like an MLS 3.0 player when I think we're in an MLS 4.0 era. So it's cool to see that we still got these legends sticking around. I know I was really watching whenever Kai Kamara was trying to break the goal record last year. So it's always nice to see these guys stick around in MLS, stay in MLS, and make themselves legends of the league. Austin FC are sneaking up the table. They cannot score a goal to save their life. They keep winning games 1-0, drawing games 0-0, but they keep picking up points here and there, and they're top 4 right now in the West. once they figure out how to get those goals and how to finish their chances, they will be a very dangerous team out west. And I had to, and I said, I'm going to have to put this on here as my number 5 every single week if they keep losing. The LA Galaxy are still winless. They're still winless. I could have told you that signing Marco Royce, he probably was going to have a knee problem. Royce is currently out with a couple injuries.
Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, Borussia Dortmund.
Hambone!
I just had to
Get
pop
in
in.
there, Hambone!
Borussia Dortmund. Shout out Dortmund.
That guy killed me in FIFA 12.
Exactly. He's getting killed right now out west. They can't win in Champions Cup. They can't win in MLS, so they're having a hard time out there in Los Angeles. Hambone, can you throw us to the rankings?
Let's do it, yeah.
They're all 10 of them. It's the right week. There's an apostrophe S. Well, Stuart, I knew you were going to call me out for this.
Mailed it in.
This is not a mailing it in situation. All these teams had great results. I hate that you guys are calling me out for that. All these teams had great results over the weekend. Inter Miami draw, but I still don't see them taking my top spot from anyone else. That team is just so solid. That San Diego squad has been fluctuating all over my top 10 rankings. Columbus gets another win to solidify them at the top. Minnesota continues their winning ways and have been really surprising. Their front line is really on fire. Charlotte, keep winning.
By the way, Lou, we would be we'd be giving you a hard time even if you moved everybody around as well. No matter what, if you were moving people for no reason, we'd be bringing it up, and if you don't move people for no reason, we still bring it up. That's just how it goes.
Los Angeles, they get a loss. Charlotte, they pick up another great win. Zaha scores again, and he's honestly having a great time over there in the Queen City. Austin peeks into my rankings for the first time ever, and Cincinnati
first time ever, like
ever.
Forever. You've
in
been
the
doing this for 9 years.
The 7 weeks, baby. In the 7 weeks, you've been doing it ever. And Cincinnati sneaks their way back in after a cool 1-0 win.
Skyline Chili. That's all I know about that.
I love Skyline Chili, by the way. Shout out Skyline Chili.
It's chili. I don't know.
No, it's a Cincinnati staple. So there's a couple in Florida. There's a couple in Florida.
There's Skyline in Florida?
There is. There's one out in Winter Haven now, but there used to be one out in Clearwater. I think there's still one out in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm area.
Okay. All right. Next road trip you go on.
I literally will document the next time I go to Skyline Chili.
Take a picture of you eating one. I don't want you
gladly.
to back to it.
Gladly. Come on.
All right.
Some regional food.
Okay, so we got your what's that?
Some regional food, some regional locale food.
Regional food. I really don't do chili on dogs that much unless it's a Martinsville hot dog.
Oh.
The chili, the slaw, the onions, the mustard all in one on that bright red hot dog.
Understandable.
That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show that we do. It's called the Cup Date, Wednesdays and Thursdays at 1:00. Get your NASCAR updates there. By the way, random side note for those wanting to check out the Gator basketball celebration, that's going to be at halftime of the Orange and Blue game on Saturday. That just came out. A little breaking news for you. Bing bong, bing bong. Some of that. Good times. But we've only got really one thing left to do here on the show, Lou.
It's the weird soccer story of the week, Stuart.
It's the weird soccer story of the week.
This one,
Stuart, is that too loud for where you're at? I know, can you actually give us a little rundown of where you are? Because that would not be allowed anywhere else.
I'm in a recording booth, so I would like to think the walls are padded enough to where.
Well, that's the one place you could probably do it then.
Right. It's like they got these padded walls here. The local TV room is like on the other side over there. So we're in the vicinity. There are very few places, and this is probably the only place you'd be able to do that here. It is funny. This entire hour, I feel like I've been transported from Augusta. I haven't felt like I'm in Augusta this entire time. I haven't seen the leaderboard. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen a pimento cheese sandwich this whole time. But that'll change in, 5 minutes. But before that, we got to get to our weird soccer story of the week.
Well, let me transport you now to Peru. This is a game that happened between Sport Huaquilla, where they defeated
that's a bad tackle.
Magdalena CEDEC 2-1 in a match for the Group B of the Kasama District League. However, an attempted assault on the referee led to a disturbance and the subsequent suspension of the match. You got to watch this. Hamby, you're going to have to slow this down too, because this is about to get really crazy. Watch.
You have to slow it down. You give him the video. What do you
This
mean?
is fantastic. I know, but watch. Boom! Oh my God. Where's Austin Lane? I mean, absolutely takes him out. The match ends up being suspended. And yeah, the referee, the match ends in a 2-1 win for Sport Hockey. Yeah.
Was he like trying to throw a water bottle at him?
Yes. That's exactly what's going on. He charges him with the water bottle.
Instead of a water bottle, he got roundhouse.
Oh my gosh, that's a bro kick by Sheamus.
The bro kick. That's very good. With the red card, by the way, in his hand. It was like insult, meet injury. Boom.
It's like a claymore. It's a claymore.
Yes.
Come on.
All right, you want slow-mo.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yes, Hamby. That was quick.
Oh my goodness. We're just
Come on.
achieving new things left and right on this.
This blew up on X, and I had to show it. This is just...
And there wasn't even a guy in the game, though. It was a guy who came from off the field.
It's the head coach of the team.
The coach? Oh,
Yep.
no.
Boy!
Oh, no.
That's horrible.
Potatoes, down it goes. Skadoosh. Okay. That's a good freeze frame. Get the red card.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Gosh, just eat some boot, pal.
That absolutely meets the criteria for the weird soccer story of the week. Man, I didn't think people in Peru would get that rowdy. I went to Peru a couple years ago. They seem like a very mellow folk.
I don't think when it comes to their soccer, I think that's when,
Holy moly.
the South Americans.
Yeah, I know.
They're built different.
I don't know, man. He was coming in there with a water bottle. If it was like a sandal, that would have been better, coming with the chancla. There you go. Okay, well, Peru. Good times. All right, we're wrapping up the show here, Lou. We're running out of time. I got sandwiches to eat. You've got, I don't know, real work to do probably.
About to head off to Bradenton, Florida.
When do you go? When do you head down there?
Got to pack tonight, and we're heading out tomorrow. First game Saturday, and catch all the action on our social media at Jax Armada FC. We'll be posting from the main account, so we'll be having behind the scenes, different little extras. So keep your eyes peeled.
All right, do me a favor, Lou. Put some BTS stuff up there, man. Let's get some behind the scenes action.
We've got to get the behind the scenes stuff. I know the boys are pumped. I'm pumped. I think we're ready to shock the world here.
All right, so are we switching places next week? You're going to be in the remote box from Ninja, and
yes.
And I'll be in the studio. Is that the plan?
This is correct.
All right, you'll be less pixelated maybe than I am here.
Hopefully, I'll have the nice mic and maybe a little camera setup.
Okay, I like it. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't do that for you fine folks, but here we are. This recording booth I thought would have Ethernet, but it didn't. So here we go.
Next Thursday,
all right, thanks, Lou.
Join us live right here at the studio.